Kind of funky because you left the lens cap on. But I took it off for you, so now we got something.
Now we'll get all the good stuff.
Now we'll get all the good stuff. All right, so just think about steady outside rain. Think I breathe out, get long and heavy with my legs. That was better. And as we ask for this transition to this way, think playing with that inside rein lightly for him to come back to you.
I'm still going to have to watch the first 10 minutes of darkness because I got some good training.
Yeah, there's some feedback in there, but I knew the little error message was something. There you go. An inside leg pushing his ribs to the outside. Check your posting. That'll make it easier to get the bend. Good. That wanted to be abrupt, but it ended up being quite nice. There you go. Try to keep that bend like you're pushing his shoulders into your outside hand. Kind of like you're smearing him against the outside edge. There you go. That is it. That's it. So we're changing his balance a lot bit, and expecting him to carry himself much more upright with that hind end tucked a little bit under. Because I know we can do it now. Check your post. There you go. That'll make it a little bit easier for him to give you the right thing. That was a little better with the softness through the transition, but I want to see him sit just a hair. So you want to think a big marching step through the walk. Almost like the walk is going to be bigger than the trot. There you go. That's it. That's your shoulder in. Feel him wrapping around that leg and kind of smearing into the outside half of his body. There you go. Just a bigger walk step for the first step. I know he doesn't. There, good answer. Even if you have to give him a little tap, because he knows it's easier if he leaves his haunches a little bit behind him. Yes, yes. Little half halt on the outside. Keep that neck a little straight. And tuck your elbows in. Yes, good, good, good. Even though it took him a few steps, did you feel him tuck a little bit underneath you? Goodness. Good. All right, so we're going to make it just a little bit harder. This time when you get him nice and standing upright and the shoulder in, ask for your canter. Okay? And he has to canter from a nice soft trot. He's not allowed to canter from a running trot. And this is where me and him had words on Thursday. Because this is very difficult for him. But he can do it. I know he can. He can't do it often, but he can do it. There you go. And then put him back together. That's okay. It's okay if he makes a mistake. So when we ask for that canter, we want our body to tell him to come up and lift instead of shoving forward, okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to picture that from a shoulder in to the canter.
Yep, from a shoulder into a canter. That way the forward motion comes up through his hind legs and out through his front legs. So it starts behind instead of starting in front. There you go. So you're going to have to collect that trot a little bit. Think trot a little smaller, and canter. Yes, there it is. That's it. And then just do a circle, really asking him to bend, making him flex to the inside. Today is all about smearing his weight in the outside half of his body for all of his work. And then when you're ready, down to the trot. And we're going to get real picky about the quality of transitions. That's it. So in the downward, we're really thinking about pushing the hind end down. Like the first step is a big step of trot from behind. There you go. And smaller trot for the shoulder in. Think smaller, smaller, and then up to your canter. even if he makes a mistake like that, that's okay. He just lost the bend. And a little flexion on the inside, so that if he chooses to counter canter, it's a real counter canter, not just a wrong lead. I think a little smaller trot for your shoulder in. He's got to collect just a hair.
Yeah, so what he's doing now is he's anticipating the cue for the canter.
He is.
So he's speeding up.
Right, and that's where we're going to bring him all the way back. Even if you need to come back to the walk, right? That's why we warmed up that walk transition, because he's going to try to escape the pressure somehow, and his MO is to kind of burst through it. But he's better than that now. He only has to do one more that's really nice. There you go. Think a little smaller trot like you're going to walk, right? Because you're thinking a little collection, and that was really nice. Wrong lead, but really nice. Can you feel how when you get that trot collected and he's really carrying behind, he's able to lift instead of surge? Good. And that's what we're going to try for this next step with him, is that he has to get this better degree of self-carriage. Good. So I want to see one more on the correct, nice, on the correct lead, and then he can have a walk break. Shorten your range just a hair for me. Little smaller trot, then collected, and up. So thinking long and heavy through your inside seat bone. Try to stay nice and tall to lift him up instead of pushing him up with your seat. And I know we're changing the parameters a little bit for him, and he's going to be a little frustrated. Don't worry, he did this with me yesterday. This is not him failing. This is him trying to figure out if he really does have to work this hard. And the answer is yes, he does. There you go. Tuck him in just a hair. Think a little smaller as if he's going to walk. There you go. Then bring the shoulders and up. There you go. Better. And then tickle him to the inside. He really has to flex to look where he's going so that he's carrying himself up that hill. There you go. And then when you're ready, you can bring him down to the walk. Let him take a quick breather. There you go. Good boy, Taro. So can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
When you're really asking the shoulders to come up and the hind end to carry, right? And so he's at a point now that he's obedient enough and flexible enough and strong enough that we're going to change that canter. Instead of that forward surge through us, he has to come up underneath us. And he finds that really, really hard, which he should, because it is, right? He's got to carry everything on that one hind leg and lift instead of throw himself in like a cannonball. Yeah, so let's let him walk at least one big lap, catch his breath.
I don't know who doesn't have their head in the game, me or him.
No, it's really hard, and so he's going to get frustrated and we're going to get frustrated because we both know it's easier if we don't ask him to work as hard, right? And then you're going to feel him pulling against you. But when we get those moments that he's really seated on his hind end, you can feel everything lighten up, even if it's just for a few strides. And that's like the light at the end of the tunnel. Because he is going to say, this is complete bullshit. No horse has ever had to work this hard, and I shouldn't have to. But guess what? He's much more pleasant when he carries. Well, he will be eventually. And when I say I had a really good ride on him on Thursday, he did not do every step perfectly. But he did, what he did well, he did to a higher degree of well than previously. That's what we're looking for, is that when we improve, we're always making that difficulty higher and higher so that our horse has to do more work with us instead of just for us. All right. Poor buddy, look at him sweat.
Same thing the other
Same
way?
thing this way. So if he feels like he's rushing through you, because this is going to be, I think, his harder side? No, this is his easier side.
This is his easier
Yeah.
side, at least for
So-
canter departure.
Right, so if he tries to rush through you to get through the trot carrying to the canter, it's okay to bring him all the way back to the walk, right? So that our plan is a little bit fluid. There you go. Push him out to that outside so it feels like all of his weight is sloshed out to that outside rein. Slowing our trot just a hair so he's a little bit more collected. He has to spend more time carrying himself. There you go, really thinking about sloshing his rib cage to the outside. That's what's difficult here. There you go, this is nice. Little half halt. There you go, I'd like his trot just a little bit slower. Keep him glancing to the inside with that flexion. He's going to try to look out of the arena, but this is a nice canter. But there's nothing out there for him. There, this is really nice. Do you feel how high the shoulders are then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Let's do it again. There you go. So don't forget to breathe in your downward transitions. I just get the feeling like there's a little catch there. Whether it's from him or you or both. Our goal, there you go, little collected, so think just a hair smaller. Yes, and then canter from that. Keep the shoulders, lovely. Tuck his nose a little to the inside so he's looking where he's going. We want to keep the balance.
This is hard.
It is hard. This is real hard stuff, right?
Way too hard.
We're going from pony yoga to pony bodybuilding. He's got to carry a lot on that one hind leg. There you go. Even if he anticipates a little bit. There you go. Little smaller trots. So think wait, wait, and up. There you go. Good. And he lost it just because he's like, I can't carry so much. So the transition was really nice, and then he just kind of fell apart. That's okay. We can regroup and ask again. I like this, though. Do you feel like he's getting a little softer underneath you?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah, today it took half an hour.
But that's okay. That's not bad. It used to take us 45 minutes.
And he actually started out real soft, but once we started working, he's like,
Well, he doesn't think you should be able to work him this hard. That was lovely. Do you feel how high the shoulders came? Yeah.
boy.
And he has to carry like a grown-up instead of going around like a cannonball. There you go. Don't be afraid to tap behind with the whip. Just to keep the hind legs motivated.
All right.
Because he's like, I am dying here. And he is, but only a little bit. It's only a little bit of dying. There you go.
If you're dying, you gave your life to a good cause.
Exactly.
You gave your life to...
Gave our life to dressage. There you go. There you go. And now with this nice collected trot, drop his neck just a hair. That's it. And then very good. And then as you do your circle, just a little tap on his haunches. Well, or a big one. To say, hey, keep carrying. Hey, keep carrying. Because he's going to say, I'm going to run out of gas. My haunches are burning. There. And then when you're ready, down. We're going to do one more just because he breaks by the gate. And then we'll let him stretch it out. There you go. Drop his neck just a hair. Be careful he doesn't get too quick with his legs. If he goes too fast, he doesn't have time to sit and push. There you go. Now ask him to stay looking to the inside. No gossiping with the group. Little tap tap right there. Yeah, just because he's starting to lose the hind end behind him. Little flexion to the inside. You can feel how he wants to brace with his jaw out. There you go. Doesn't feel like a big deal, but it really changes his balance in front. Right? Because it lets him fall into that inside shoulder and start to drag instead of push. Good, and then stretch him down. Let him stretch out and be a little Western pleasure pony. Oh, good boy.
Got a peanut around here?
He's like, oh, goodness. There we go. Good. He goes, oh my goodness. All right, and then when you're ready, you can let him walk and just die quietly by himself. Good walk. And then did you feel like he didn't just collapse, right?
Yeah.
He wants to, but he didn't.
He wanted to.
Well, and this is just the next stage in what he's learning, right? Is how to carry himself through all this work instead of just do the work. Because he's not racing through you anymore, which I like. He's starting to really lift up and carry everything upward.
True.
Which is way harder than racing through us.
That's a good point. He's not trying to get away from it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's attempting it.
He is. He's trying really hard. And this is just the next step of work, right? Because we had to get him through that racing through you part, because otherwise he's never going to work. So he's now at the point that he can start to collect and carry a little bit more. And he's going to get heavy in your hands as he says, you got to hold me up halfway. But by the end, he was way lighter. Oh, buddy. And then as it gets easier, we're going to start to do some counter canter out of it. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
He's like, I may die. I may absolutely die. Only a little bit.
I wonder if the water's too cold for a rinse.
I think he'll probably appreciate it. His little bum is all foamy, so. He worked hard.
Yeah,
He worked real hard.
And he was salivating a lot on Tuesday, which
Mhm.
I thought was really good. He was definitely working the bit.
Mm-hmm. And today he was just a little more braced, but that's to be expected when we ask him to take more weight behind, right? But he got softer and softer as the ride went on, so we can be real happy with that.
Well, he started out real soft, and then when he started training, he got braced.
Yeah, he was a little shocked when he had to work as hard as he had to
He
work.
had a strong finish.
Mm-hmm.
Got a good finish there, Voltaro.
Just gotta lean into it, buddy. Lean in. He's like, I don't know if I can. There's got to be horse abuse.
You don't know how close we are to the cover of this orange.
Exactly. Although now it's Practical Horseman, so combine the two.
Combined them all. Horse and rider too, and then there's like nothing Western anymore.
I think Horse and Rider is still its own entity, right?
I thought they combined them all into Practical Horseman.
Well, I still get 2 magazines, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Horse and Rider is still a lot more DIY based. But Practical Horseman has gotten a little bit like, show off your barn.
Yeah.
Who's on the Olympic team? And you're like, I want to hear about training stuff, not
Look at all
see
these
people's
people-
tack rooms, you know?
Yeah, look at all these people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on their horse and their